Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our Keep On Keeping On video series, I guess. One of the most uncomfortable things we're doing, but it's fine. Gives y'all a chance to watch everybody squirm and be a little uncomfortable and you know, talk and record themselves on video. I got a couple guys here with me from the drilling and completions department. So I'll let y'all introduce yourself, tell them your title and what you do. And Stuart, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Stewart Wood. I'm the completion superintendent. Basically, I take care of all of our frac stuff.
And
What about
Jeremy
you, Jeremy?
Heatley, yeah, Jeremy Heatley, drill and completions manager. I work with Stewart on the completion side for frac, and also work on the drilling side with a few consultants.
Cool. Well, I know right now, things are kind of slowing down a little bit, in y'all's world, um, until we get a little more activity going. But the everything we do is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But especially with frac and drilling, y'all have guys really out there working, swinging hammers, moving iron, that kind of stuff. So appreciate what y'all do, keeping an eye on all of that, and trying to keep those guys safe. It's tough to keep guys focused Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning when they're freezing and their friends are throwing parties and whatnot. So, but that's why we talk about keep on keeping on instead of, finishing strong because there ain't no finish for those guys, right? They just go to work the next day and the next day. So appreciate y'all for that. If I asked y'all, if I asked you, Jeremy, what's the most dangerous thing that we do on a daily basis, what would you say?
I would say driving.
I mean, that's what everybody says, right? That's the answer. Um, Stuart, why is that? Why does everybody say that?
Well, there's so many variables that are out of your control when driving. There's other drivers on the road, whether that's an experienced driver or inexperienced driver, or large trucks or small trucks or cars. There's also weather conditions and road conditions that are kind of out of your control. And all you can do is try to manage those hazards the best you can, you know.
Yeah, speaking of all those hazards and stuff, sand haulers, of course, is a big one. I have a special place in my heart for sand haulers. Um, I know I've told the story before, but nearly exactly a year ago, 3 days before Christmas last year, I was cruising along in the dark, hauling my boat back home, and there's a sand hauler parked exactly sideways across 158, right outside of Garden City. Never saw him. Hit him doing about 75. I got fortunate with just a couple broken ribs and a broken kneecap. But, talk about a hazard that you don't expect to see there is just a truck across the middle of the road. And with winter coming up, the driving becomes even more hazardous. We might get some ice 1 or 2 days in the winter. Occasionally a little bit of rain, which makes the streets a little bit slicker right at first. But one thing that people don't think about in the winter is the reduced daylight hours, right? So when you're heading out to location or the office or whatever, it's probably dark. When you're getting back, it's probably dark, and things just go crazy there. And then I don't know, Stuart, where do you live?
Lovington.
Lovington. So traffic there probably isn't quite as bad as it is. I know Jeremy could tell us the traffic over there in Midland, right now, like around the mall and the stupid Walmart and whatnot, it's nearly impossible, right? Um, but out there, give me some of the specific examples of the hazards y'all are looking about, not just on the road, but on location as well. Jeremy, what are some of the things that y'all struggle with?
Well, adding on to what Stewart was saying, the scariest part about driving is not only do you have to take care of your own business in your own vehicle, you also have to be aware of what other people are doing, whether they're distracted or under the influence. You never know what's going on out there. To me, that's the scariest part about your day is getting to and from work. On location, I mean, there's a lot of coordination going on. Spotting vehicles specifically on Stewart's side. That takes a lot of good coordination and good communication, and it's a good opportunity to have an accident or a fender bender. Maybe it's not as health health wise, it's not as dangerous, but it's definitely a time where you got to be careful not to damage equipment and things like that. And I think communication on that side is the most important.
Yeah, especially over in that sand area, right, Stewart? I mean, how do you know about how many trucks a day, when y'all are fracking, you have coming and going as far as
Well,
sand?
so like sand haulers, most of our locations are going to be around 200 trucks coming in and out, just refilling sand. Not to mention probably we have about 35 trucks that are parked on location. And our pads are fairly small, and it does take some pretty good effort and ground guides, and there's some pretty clear standards on that type of stuff to make sure that we can get them in and out and offloaded and without hitting anything or anyone.
Yeah, it can be difficult. It gets real crowded, especially over in that sand area. Um, you got guys working and guys moving, coming and going and stuff, and it gets kind of crazy. But that's anywhere we work, right? Even like the lease ops working on location may have some electricians there, some roustabouts, whatever it is, and one person moves a truck and the other person didn't pay attention, and next thing you know, we're backing into it, or um, we're driving down the lease road and it's kind of muddy and we get slid over into somebody heading our way. So lots of stuff, not just on the highway, but also, once we cross the cattle guard. The highway, of course, is where fatalities happen, right? I believe September 7th, I can't remember the exact date, but back in 2000, was the last day in Texas that there wasn't a fatality on the highways in Texas. So at least one person has died every single day since that day in, in 2000. And that's crazy. That's a lot of people. And a lot of them have been right here in the Permian Basin. I have had a couple of friends get killed in car accidents recently. Say recently, last couple of years. Most people know somebody that either was severely injured or hurt or killed, in a car accident. So, I'd say the number one thing is wear your seatbelt and drive defensively, right? Never have the attitude of it's me versus them, and always expect people to do the unexpected. Always expect a sand hauler to park sideways across the highway. I I don't know how else to put it. Um, but no, I appreciate y'all's input on that. Anything, any other final words before we let these people go?
Just, to kind of expand on what Stewart does and then move over to the drilling side. The most dangerous thing we do on the drilling side is the rig move days. That equipment is, it carries over to the driving on the public roads, but also, like you said, on our own lease roads and our own locations, that equipment's heavy and it's really not designed to be moved. And you're moving it with equipment that is not designed to move that heavy of equipment a lot of times, and things fail, and it's again probably the most dangerous thing we do, and communication's the key.
Yeah, those rig moves, that's controlled chaos. I mean, it's just everybody moving everywhere. And all of those trucks are used all day, every day. So they can fall into disrepair sometimes. They have a winch cable that goes bad or whatever, and nobody notices. Nobody has the time to change it. So yeah, you're right. There's all sorts of things can go on a rig move. Um, Same thing with moving frack in and out. A lot of trucks moving around, a lot of people moving around. But anyways, I appreciate you guys, appreciate your input on it. And I guess with that, we'll tell everybody Merry Christmas season, I guess. I think we have one more video before Christmas gets here. But appreciate you guys, and the message is keep on keeping on. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.